Sound test. 1, 2. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 89 of the 10-minute modeling challenge. This week I'm going to take up a little challenge that Julia Alder Julia Alder said in the last week's premiere chat. And she suggested a dungeon entrance, which caught my attention, so I'm going to give that a go. This week is also the sore throat edition because my kids started school last week. Don't know what happened with all the restrictions and being careful and stuff, but apparently like every teacher and every child pretty much in the school has got a sore throat, so let's hope it's just the normal common cold and not the common dangerous cold. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious on the time this week. I'm going to do my 10-minute modeling challenge, get a little low poly dungeon entrance, and then after that I'm going to spend some time to just tweak it, and we'll see how long that is. And I'm not going to be speaking too much in the aftermath of this episode, and I might fast forward it and just put some music to it, just to save my voice a little bit. So with that said, let's get started. Let's make a dungeon entrance. I'm going to use the Imphenzia Palette 2. You can find the download link in the description. So we still have the upper left quadrant, which is just the basic colors. Lower right quadrant here has got the emissions on it. Top right quadrant has got transparency, and the lower left has got some desaturated versions as well. Ready? Steady? Go! And we're off. Tab into edit mode 8, select everything, scale 20 times the size, select the top face, hold the control key, move it down to there. Select these two edges, right click, subdivide, and 20 subdivisions to get some to work with. And then I'm going to do the same on these, actually circle select, right click, subdivide, and 20. Let's go to top view, C, sorry, K, knife select, knife tool. Select a bunch of these and get some geometry to work here for the cliff face. And C to circle select. Okay, I want edges, or no, I want faces. And let's grab these carefully here. Already regretted this approach, but that's okay. 9 minutes. E to extrude, S to scale. E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, and that's our cliff face. Control R, I need a few more, I think, parts of geometry there. And now I'm going to extrude this part, so I think I'm going to do just like this so I can get a little bit of facing to work with here in the back. Because I want the cave to go in, or the cave, the dungeon. What's the difference between a cave and a dungeon? I have no idea. I think I'm going to find out though at some point. So there we go. E to extrude, S to scale, and should I? Yeah, this will work. I'm pretty confident. I shouldn't be. Control right click, rotate. But I just want to have, so I can have an extruded dungeon in here with some twists. So if I wanted to add some lighting, I could do that. But I don't really want to see it here on the sides, so it should do, I think. Rotate there, and now let's extrude the actual cave into, or dungeon, correct myself. C to circle select. Should that be the entrance of the dungeon? I think so. Top, Alt Z, control right click, control right click, control right click, control right, control right, control right, scale it down, control right, and that's our disappearing dungeon here. Some twists. Is that okay? I think so. Is it going through there? Okay, it's going through. So let's grab that and bring it down. That should do. Okay, 7 minutes on the clock there. Now I should probably get some colorization in here. So I'll Alt and ring select there, Control plus to grow it out to here. And let's get a bit of darker gray here for the inside for now. And should we do some grass on the outside here? 3, C to circle select here. Okay, I have to be careful again, not to over select. Don't want grass on the rock face there. Oh, hold the shift key. Maybe I'll make these a bit brown too, but never mind. Green, like the grass, and actually I'll do like this, and then we'll do dirt by the entrance here. So just grab the green ones there and bring those to a brown. Okay, that's the entrance, and now we can do proportional and get some shapes to this. And G proportional up. Just, I'll shift select a few verts. I could have sculpted this probably, but I'll get the whole faces instead like this. Get some interesting shapes maybe. Shift select a few faces. Got proportional on still. And this could be for the entrance here. Should we drop that down, bring it out? Maybe put some shapes on the actual rock face now too. And G, let's do the same here. I'm gonna extrude a bit in a second too, I think. Get some more interesting shapes to the rocks. Here could be like this. I don't want to see the back there, so let's get it up to there. Control R, scale, Control R, a little bit more detail. Still low poly though, of course. That's it. And we've got 5 minutes, half the time's already gone. Oh, I got this like a dungeon entrance here. But let's put some rocks here then. And so I'll pick any random face here, Control R first. Want a little bit more detail here. And now let's grab my favorite thing, Shift D, duplicate the face, extrude, or scale it, rotate, G to move it, E to extrude. Now I'm just gonna put some random blocks here, I think, as it was like piled up by the entrance. Shift D, scale, rotate. And Shift D, scale, bigger one here, rotate. And Shift D, rotate, E to extrude. And it doesn't really, I don't think it matters if it goes in like this. But let's put some on this side. Scale it up, Shift D on that one, E to extrude. Oh no, I don't have screencast keys, sorry guys. Well, you got 4 minutes of screencast keys. So let's bring this one in, G and L to select the linked, Shift D, scale on the Z axis, bring that vertex out, Shift D. Okay, let's stand one up here on the side. L to select linked, G, Shift D, scale. And should we put like a big thing here? I think so. Shift D, scale it down. So I put a big thing in, but I scale it down. E to extrude. Okay, that could work. Shift D, R to rotate, E to extrude, L to select the linked, rotate, scale, and that's it. And then I'll do some shapes to the like rock face here too. So Shift select those, Shift D, scale those up, G to move them in, E to extrude, R to rotate, L to select the linked. There we go. Bring that in. And that vertex in. And then same thing here, we'll do some rock, bigger rock here. And that should do. Shift D, scale, G to move it in, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, and rotate. And here we'll do some, should I just extrude this one? And some beveled edges maybe, Control B on that one. On these ones that you see more, Control B on that one. These three maybe, Control B. And Control B on those two. And these two, Control B. Some rounded edges here by the entrance, they've been worn down a bit. 1 minute 50, okay. So I think I'll just have to work on the actual entrance here for now. Or should we put a tree here? Yeah, we'll put a tree. So grab these four, Shift D, scale Z 0. Let's go to edit and do loop tools circle, scale, O for proportional off, move it down, E to extrude, L to select the length, get the brown. Got 1 minute to create a tree here. So scale, it won't be as detailed as last week. So let's just control right click, scale, scale, and then here, control R, select these. We'll do the same method as last time. Edit, circle, control right click, control right click, control right click, control right click, control right click. 45 seconds, control R, same here. Circle, control right click, control right click, control right click, control right click. And let's get that famous side stump too. Circle, scale, control R. So this one's the broken one. Control R. So I to inset, E to extrude. Go a little bit brighter. And we've got 15 seconds. Let's just put one more stone outside here then. Shift D, G, E to extrude, and E to extrude, S to scale, and E to extrude. That's it. 2 minutes. All right. So, okay, that's the dungeon entrance then in 10 minutes. So it took a little bit longer than I planned to get the extrusion coming in there. Extrude the entrance of the dungeon. What's the difference between a dungeon and a cave? I don't know. Let's do a test render to see what it looks like too. F12. I'm just going to spend about an hour now to put some more details into this scene, but to save my voice, I'm going to be quiet, so I'll put some music on it and do a little bit of a time-lapse this week, and hopefully next week we should be back a little bit more to normal. Maybe I should do like a traditional 10-minute build next week for some, I was going to say from back in the day, but that's only like 4 episodes ago. Sit back, enjoy the time-lapse, and listen to some music, and we'll see where we can bring the scene to, and I'll show you the final render as well at the end of the video. There we have it. We finally have ourselves a dungeon entrance. So thanks, Julia, for giving me that suggestion. It was a lot of fun to try it, and I learned a lot of stuff during this modeling session here. First of all, I haven't really done volumetric lighting or volumetric fogs and stuff scattering before at all, so that's a total first time try. Not sure at all. I'm probably missing half the stuff that I need to figure out and learn, so that's going to be fun to learn. Maybe I can get those rays punching through the trees or something like that in the future. Also, I did the tree very similar to how I did last week's video, so if you want to see how to use the hair modifier or the hair particle system, keep saying that wrong, to create the branches and the leaves, then you can check out my previous video. I decided to go for just like a bulky, low poly style for the like bunches of leaves instead of individual leaves for this particular scene. If you want to find out more about the material setup and the environment altogether, check out the lighthouse scene from 2 episodes ago, because that's where I spoke a little bit more about the actual scene that I used. I've used those 2 as templates. Another couple of lessons learned is that most of the modeling session here, I was not really happy where this scene was going at all. I didn't like the rock formations, I wasn't happy with the vines, I wasn't happy with the tree, and there was a lot of stuff that I wasn't actually happy with. But as I progressed, and my advice is to just punch through the sessions where you feel that it might not really be going your way, keep trying. And I think I'm feeling a lot happier now that the final images come together. And I think it has a lot to do with the emission, with the lights, the torches, for example. And for the volumetrics, I think added quite a bit, and also the side lights. Again, I opted for the moonlight from the right, like a blue spotlight. I had to use a spotlight this time since I used volumetric instead of the directional one. And I also kept my magenta or like a pinkish type of a sunset light from the left. I tend to like that split, having blue light from the right and magenta or pinkish light from the left there. I also tried a little bit to get some leaves on the vines. I wasn't happy with that result, so I'd probably have to go for bigger, low poly leaves there. And it'd be fun to revisit this one if I do learn a little bit more about how I want to compose a scene like this. It's going to be fun to maybe revisit this one. And I'm realizing that quite a lot of time is going past as you play around with these things, partially because a lot of the stuff is new and it's fun to just play around with it and learn it. And partially because the more detail you add, every little step up in detail, you have to iterate over the whole scene and pretty much keep up with details everywhere. So every time you add a bit of detail, you add quite a significant amount of time to the scene. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was it okay or was it a disaster? I don't know. But I'm sure you'll let me know. And come back next week for episode 90 of the 10-minute modeling challenge with a lot of extra bonus material. We'll see how long that next episode will be. Hit the like button if you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll clear this common cold, that's what I'm hoping it is, out by next week. So we'll find out. See you then. Bye for now.